Back in the day, if you wanted an affordable European car, you only had one option really. That was to go to the classified ads and look for a second-hand one. But now, getting a European car is a bit more accessible thanks to Volkswagen. Recently, they brought in their line of Chinese-assembled cars, and we have one of them here, and it is called the Santana. And it aims to go up against the likes of the Toyota Vios, Honda City, and Mazda 2, just to name a few. But the thing is, will the expectations of a European car still be in the most affordable German car you can buy in the market today? And so we start with the styling, and I have to say that it is, well, typical Volkswagen really. It doesn't really stand out, and there are a lot of straight lines and not much in the way of, well, really flair. What you do get instead is very straightforward styling that isn't going to offend anyone. But on the flip side, you're not really going to stand out from the crowd, and let's be honest, you might lose this car in the car park. This white paint isn't really helping either, and really the most interesting thing here at the front is this rather meaty mosquito we killed on the way up here. Now, for the side, it really sort of reminds me of the Volkswagen Polo Notch, the car this one replaced. And it is very conventional in terms of design. Relatively short hood, big in the middle, short trunk. And as for the back, well, it is, again, very typical Volkswagen. Not much in the way of flair, but it is simple and straightforward nonetheless. All in all, I wouldn't really call the Santana a standout in its class, but the Volkswagen badge should help your badge kudos. Like the exterior, I wouldn't exactly call the interior of the Santana stylish. Well, it's all filled with flat surfaces, straight lines, and a lot of gray plastic in here. Although you are in a subcompact car, so the hard plastics come as standard. And what is nice is they at least padded the armrests. What is nice also is the feel of the knobs and the dials and all that, and there's a bit of heft in them when you use it. What I do like about the interior is the infotainment system. Now, it comes with a function that shows you the vehicle status from the exact amount of fuel you have. In this case, we have 12 liters left, and even a battery voltmeter, which is something I haven't seen in a long time. It even tells you how much washer fluid you have left to clean the windshield. I find that rather amusing, actually. Points for improvement? Well, a bit more flair would be nice, and I wish it also came with a telescopic steering wheel, although it's nice that it does have a tilt function and a headlight leveler switch as well. Overall, the look of the cabin is simple, straightforward, and you'll easily get used to it. Now let's go check out the back seats. Now here at the back, it's actually not bad. Legroom is decent, although if somebody taller sits in front of me, your legroom would probably be right about here. Still, that's not so bad because there's a decent amount of footroom where you could wiggle your toes. Other than that, there's really not much to talk about here at the back. It doesn't even have an armrest. Although what is nice are the huge door pockets, and there's even a small pocket down here. And if you're the type who reads while traveling, you could set an individual light to your side of the rear. I say that's a pretty neat feature, and it's something that isn't common in this class at all. Also, I do rather like the sound the doors make, and it is a Volkswagen after all, so you expect a bit of solidity in them, and just listen to this. Pretty solid, isn't it? And in the name of safety, there are also ISOFIX mountings, and the car it's based on, the Skoda Rapide, recently got a 5-star safety rating from the Euro NCAP, so you're assured of the Santana's safety credentials. So what is the Santana like to drive? And to put it through its paces, we loaded it up to the max. With me in the car are Barney, our camera guy, Kelvin, our photographer, and Miko, who you met in the Mobilia review. So we've loaded it up along with camera gear, and I have to tell you, going up Tanay, well, the transmission feels a little bit confused, and to sort of make up for it, you have to put it in sport mode to really help the car pick up. But on flatter surfaces, I have to say that it picks up the pace relatively well. It's not going to set the world alight, but it's a 1500cc engine, and it's never going to be a pocket rocket. What is good though is fuel economy. Now, this car has been up and around the metro, stuck in relatively heavy traffic, and it still returned a pretty decent 8.8 kilometers per liter at an average of about 18 kilometers per hour. Now here, in mixed conditions and around these twisty roads, I'm returning a more decent 10.3 kilometers per liter. But I have left the car in sport mode just to make it that bit more responsive. So of course, as always, your fuel consumption will vary. Now, when it comes to handling, this may sound a bit weird, but I have to say it handles a bit like a car from the 90s in the sense that it feels like it's floating over bumps, not gliding, floating. So the car bobs and weaves a bit on imperfect surfaces. So that means when you're turning the car, it just keeps on rolling and rolling, and mainly because of that soft suspension. On the flip side though, ride is relatively decent for a small sedan. Now when it comes to steering, I'm actually surprised that it offers a fair amount of feedback, which is pretty rare for an electronic power steering system. So kudos to Volkswagen for that. And as I take on more corners, I like that I know where the wheels are pointed, although it could use a quicker steering rack because I have to put in a lot of steering lock just to point the car in the direction I want it to go. But on a daily drive, and you're stuck in the city most of the time, I guess it's alright. Now, as a driving experience, the Santana is never going to be a substitute for the Golf GTI, or it's actually never going to stir your loins at all. It's a pretty pedestrian driving experience, to be honest. Of course, that being said, it's not exactly a chore to drive the corners, but you have the feeling that it's not exactly designed to attack them. Although, if you value stuff like comfort and refinement, well, the Santana is probably good for you. Especially if you spend most of the time in the city, just shutting out the hustle and bustle of daily life. Pretty solid sounding door, isn't it? But anyway, back to the Santana. Now, this particular model is the top of the line model. So it comes with a sunroof, a comprehensive infotainment system, side airbags, cruise control, and even cornering fog lights, which aid when it comes to taking blind corners at night. Now, at 993,000 pesos, it sounds a bit steep, you might think. But then again, it is rather well equipped. So, why buy the Santana? It's not exactly an exhilarating drive, nor is it exciting to look at. But think of it this way, if you value comfort, safety, and refinement above everything else, this is the car for you. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video around YouTube and on Facebook and through our social media platforms. And this is AutoIndustriya, and thank you for watching.